Yo, what up?
你要见还是我
Yo, what up?
你要见还是我
It's RazorPop lah.
Do you have a space of your own to create? A room where you can hide away and check in with your creative side? 3 local film critics, Danny Yeoh, Chu Boon-leong and Kong Kam-yok, decided to venture into the creative rooms of 20 up-and-coming media talents, ranging from actress Yo Yan-yan to filmmaker Boo Joon-fong, as well as film producers, cinematographers, designers, script writers, animators, editors, composers, and poets. They profiled a list of 20 people who have and are still weaving stories on screen with the different creative talents. The 3 film critics likely tread into the creative spaces of the featured talents, who generously shared about their creative processes, which in turn produced this book, My Creative Room. My Creative Room is a bilingual initiative that portrays the local media at work. And today, the 3 authors walk into Razor TV's creative room, our living room studio, to share with us the inspiration behind this publication.
Hello, welcome to RazorPop. I'm Christina, and yes, today the 3 authors of the book My Creative Room are here with us today in the living room studio. They are Danny Yeoh, currently a lecturer at Ngee Ann Polytechnic, Chu Boon-leong on the arts beat, a journalist on the arts beat with Lianhe Cao Bao, and Kong Kam-yok, a film critic. So may I know who initially comes up with the idea of this book, of creating this book? What is the creative concept like?
Oh, me?
Yes, Boon-leong.
Yeah, actually, I came up with the idea of this book.
Yeah.
And then I think that it's quite interesting. I mean, first of all, I think Singapore is quite interesting to have quite a lot of media talents, and then we are just trying to find out all these interesting people around, and then just to get them out of their room and to show them to other people around.
So it wasn't a collaborative effort between the 3 of you brainstorming ideas in the creative room one day, is it? Danny?
It was a little bit like that. Like Boon-leong had his idea about 3 years ago, and then he roped in Kam-yok.
Yeah.
And then when the 3 of us came together, I think the very first meeting we were trying to decide who to include in the book, and that itself created a little interesting chemistry
between the 3
amongst
of
the
you?
3 of us. Yeah.
What about Kam-yok? What is your role in this book?
Actually, I see this more as a collaboration between the 3 of us. Yeah, and it was really interesting because we visited quite a number of coffee places around central Singapore. Yeah, because that's where we brainstorm our ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your creative spaces are actually different coffee shops in Singapore.
Yeah, I think we get bored quite easily.
So what does My Creative Room represent? Why the title My Creative Room?
I think the room represents something to me. I mean, first we came out with ideas like, where does this creative thing come from? I mean, from which part of the mind, if there's a part in the mind. And then we have different ideas about the room. Like, initially we got loggia, we got jigsaw puzzle, we got all sorts of things, a notepad, a computer.
That represents the room.
Yeah, and then at the end of it, we came up with ideas. So we think the room might be a possibility, and then the room has a lot of interesting things. Like, look around the rooms, and you've got all sorts of toys, of videos, music, and all things. And it's a relaxed place where you can actually let yourself be in it.
Be yourself.
So, yeah, that's right.
No, actually, I remember you came up with the idea of My Creative Room when we were in this creative space at our designer's studio.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's the fact that we are immersed in that very special space.
Yeah,
and then the 4 of us were working together, trying to get the best idea out, and then suddenly it just dawned on us, I suppose.
So Danny, what is your designer studio like?
It's really special. I like it. In fact, I want to take away all her finishes with me if she's going to move one day.
Okay.
She had her own design book cabinet.
Yeah.
It was done in such a way where different piles of wood were being stuck together.
Yeah.
And so it had a kind of like a geometry and also mathematical formula to it. But I think the room is also, because for a lot of designers, including our designer, the space might be very private. So to invite us to go into her room, into a studio, I thought it was quite a privilege in itself. And I think for the 20 featured talents to open up to us, to allow us to have a glimpse into their private space, their room, I think that's quite an honor as well.
Now, talking about the 20 featured up-and-coming talents, right? How do you guys choose? Like, there's so many people in Singapore who are very talented and who are into film as well. So how do you pick these 20 talents? Maybe start with Boon Leong, who came up with the idea.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
We wrote a list actually. We wrote those people we know, we saw on papers, we never knew we want to know it, and then all sort of things, and then we sort of short list, and start to eliminate. Not really eliminate, but we think that this person might be more interesting, and then we try to restrict the numbers because we have to have 20 people. I mean, we try to have the numbers of 20. So that's
so are these media professionals related to your own profession? Like Danny, who is a previous DJ and as a media lecturer, do you pick people whom you know personally or people who you admire or something?
I think when we were shortlisting the 20, we had something in mind, was that we wanted to showcase people who are lesser known. So, for example, the big names, I think they probably wouldn't need publicity. But I think there are a lot more people working behind the scenes who need encouragement. Another criteria we were looking at was also to encompass the entire process of filmmaking, especially featuring people like the cinematographers, the producers, the script writers, even poster design companies and post-production, the writers. So all these are people that you don't normally see on front page or in magazine features. What comes to mind when you talk about a film or a movie is the director or the actors, but there are more than that.
Definitely. Kam Yok, what is your role in this media list, this media personals?
I think for us, when we were talking about the list, we wanted the book to reflect also the making of a film. Yeah, so that's why it encompasses everyone from the scriptwriters all the way down to the movie poster designers to the post-production houses. Yeah, and I think we really enjoyed the brainstorming session because we were not only thinking about just one book, we were thinking if you're
coffee, right?
Yeah, coffee shops. Yes, if we're going to do like a series, then who do we want to put on in the very first book?
I see.
I think that's how we decided on the first list.
So what's the writing process like?
We actually divide into we got these 20 people down, and then we sort of divide out I'll write 6 person, then they'll write the 7 persons, and then they'll choose whoever they like, and then we'll choose whoever we like to profile and all these things. So it's quite a democratic process, I suppose.
Yeah, except that the two of us, we did 7 and he did only 6.
Oh, because you're busier than the other two, or what?
No, he's supposed to be the overall editor to have overall look.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also have bigger responsibility, so I have
to... so because you need to oversee the whole book, the production, the whole book, is it?
Supervisor usually get less.
Isn't that lucky?
But remember what our designer said, that she could actually distinctively see 3 different styles. Yeah, how the 3 of us would actually present our materials quite differently. Even the interview process might be a little bit different. So I think what is possible from this book is that it opens up the space as well. You don't see just one author's perspective, but you get 20 different people sharing their stories, as well as 4 different perspectives, the 3 writers as well as our designer, whom I thought added in a lot of her own thoughts, her own design, as well as her own concept of what creativity and what creative space is all about.
I see. So we actually see different aspects of the movie world from the 3 of you. Now, and I went to the book launch as well, and I interviewed some of the featured talents. So just let's take a look at the featured talents that were present at the book launch.